Good morning, students. Today we are starting a new week of classes. Yesterday was only a review. So today we are going to start with a new math topic. But before starting, we are going to pray. So close your eyes and bow your heads. Dear Jesus in heaven, we thank you again for a new day of life. Thank you because you have been so merciful with us. You have protected us and our families also. In this special day, we ask your company with us. Give us wisdom and understanding to comprehend the topic of today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, guys, what is this? A gallon of milk. A gallon of milk. So, do you know what is this? A cup. You need a cup to fill with the milk and to drink it. Now, do you know, guys, how many cups of milk can you fill with a gallon? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many cups do you think can you fill with a gallon of milk? Okay, let me tell you that you can have 16 cups with a gallon of milk. That means that a gallon of milk equals or has 16 cups of milk. Right now, I want you to see a video about the topic that we are going to see today. We are going to be talking about units of weight and capacity. So let's see the next video.
1 gallon split into 4s is 4 quarts. Take that and divide by 2 and you got a pint. Split that pint up into halves and make a cup. And that cup will fit 8 fluid ounces inside of it.
1 gallon is 4 quarts.
Or 8 pints or 16 cups.
1 quart is 2 pints.
Or 4 cups or 32 fluid ounces.
1 pint is 2 cups.
Or 16 fluid ounces.
1 cup is 8 fluid ounces.
A gallon of milk split in 4s makes 4 quarts. Split a quart of milk in half, then a pint is what you'll have. Which can make 2 cups you see often when you drink your school milk carton. If you can drink the milk in 8 sips, each is about an ounce going through your lips.
1 gallon is 4 quarts.
Or 8 pints or 16 cups.
1 quart is 2 pints.
Or 4 cups or 32 fluid ounces.
1 pint is 2 cups.
Or 16 fluid ounces.
1 cup is 8 fluid ounces.
Volume is a word that's familiar, and capacity and volume are similar. And though it's easy to assume, capacity is not exactly volume. Capacity is how much something can hold. The amount is always the same. Volume's the measure of what's inside, and that amount can change.
1 gallon is 4 quarts.
Or 8 pints or 16 cups.
1 quart is 2 pints.
Or 4 cups or 32 fluid ounces.
1 pint is 2 cups.
Or 16 fluid ounces.
1 cup is 8 fluid ounces.
So guys, let's go to page 125 and we are going to read the problem 125. And let's read the problem with me. It says, Martin Elliot drinks 12 pints of milk each week. Martin's mother buys milk in gallon containers. So how many gallons does Mrs. Elliot buy for Martin each week? So we are going to, I want you to see an image before solving this problem. Look at this image. This, what you have in here, what you see here, is a fluid ounce, a cup, a pint, quarter, and gallon. Fluid ounce, cup, pint, quarter, quart, and gallon. Now, in the same page, you are going to find a chart that says capacity. In page 125, you are going to find this chart. And it says that 1 cup has 8 fluid ounces, 1 pint, 2 cups, 1 pint, 16 fluid ounces, 1 quart, 2 pints, and 1 quart, 32 ounces, fluid ounces, and 1 gallon, 4 quarts. Also, guys, I need you to see this. Remember that when we are changing from smaller to larger units, we have to divide. And from larger to smaller units, we multiply. So let's see this. For example, if we are changing fluid ounces to cups, we are changing from smaller to larger. So we have to divide by 8. Why by 8? Because in the formula or in here we have that 1 cup has 8 fluid ounces. Okay, so we are taking into account these numbers of here. We are going to take into account these numbers of here. So if we are changing from cups to pints, we are going to divide by 2. Why? Because 1 pint has 2 cups. From pints to quarts, we are going to divide by 2. Why? Because 1 quart has 2 pints. From quarts to gallons, we are going to divide by 4. Why? Because 1 gallon has 4 quarters. Now, if we are changing from, if you see, all these ones were from smaller to larger. Now, let's do it in the contrary. From larger to smaller. From larger to smaller, remember that we are going to multiply. Let's see. If you are changing gallons to quarts, you have to multiply times 4. Why? Because 1 gallon has 4 quarts. If you are changing quarts to pints, you have to multiply times 2 because 1 quart has 2 pints. Look in here. From pints to cup, by 2 because 1 pint has 2 cups. And from cups to fluid ounces, you have to multiply times 8. If you see, we are using the same numbers. We are using the same numbers. 4 in here, 4 in here, 2 here, 2 here, because we are using these conversions of here. Okay? So the only difference is that from smaller to larger, we divide, and from larger to smaller, we multiply. So knowing that, guys, let's go to solve the problem. Okay, guys, the problem says that this Martin Elliot that likes a lot of milk drinks how many pints? 16 pints. That is what we have in here, 16 pints. And we have to know how many gallons are in 16 pints because his mom buys the milk in gallons. So, do we have in here, guys, something in which we can have gallons and pints? No, right? We have gallons and quarters, pints and quarters, but not gallons and pints. So that means that it's better if you first change the 16 pints to sorry, the 16 pints to quarts, okay? Because if you change the 16 pints to quarts, it's going to be easier for you then to change the quarts to gallons. So first we are going to change the pints to quarts. Why? Because we already have that 1 quart has 2 pints, but we don't have 1 gallon how many pints. That's why we have to change them first to quarts. Chicos, aquí tenemos que primero cambiarlo a cuartos. ¿Por qué? Porque no tenemos en un galón, no nos dice acá en las fórmulas de conversión, no nos dice cuántas pintas tiene un galón, pero sí me dice cuántas pintas tiene un cuarto y sí me dice cuántos cuartos tiene un galón. Entonces si cambio de pintas a cuartos y luego voy a poder cambiar de cuartos a galones. Okay, let's continue in English. So, we are going to change pints to quarts. Pints to quarts. So we are changing from smaller to larger or from larger to smaller. Let's see the image. Here we have the pints and here we have the quarts. So we are changing from smaller to larger. A pint is smaller than a quart. So that means that we have to divide. Divide by 2. Why? Because 1 quart, looking here, has 2 pints. So that means that we are going to divide 16 pints divided by 2 quarts. And 16 divided by 2 is 8, because 8 times 2 is 16, and we have 0 when we subtract. So that means that we have in 16 pints, we have 8 quarts. Now guys, look that we already have 8 quarts. So now we are going to change the 8 quarts into gallons. So, do you have quarts and gallons in the formulas? Yes, in here 1 gallon has 4 quarts. So in 8 quarts, how many gallons? Some of you already did it just mentally, right? But if not, let's see. This one is a gallon, this one is a quart. And we are changing from quarts to gallons. So we are changing from smaller to larger. So we have to continue dividing by 4 because 1 gallon has 4 quarts. So we are going to divide 8 by 4. 2, right? Because 2 times 4 is 8. So in 8 quarts, we have 2 gallons. And if in 8 quarts we have 16 pints, we can say that in 16 pints we have 2 gallons. Okay? What did we do? We changed the pints into quarts, then the quarts into gallons. So these gallons are the same of these ones in here. It's the same to say 16 pints equals to 2 gallons. But if you didn't understand here, don't worry. We are going to continue with the exercises and you are going to understand better with the exercises. So right now we are going to solve exercises from 1 to 6 from page 125. So number 1, guys, says 6 quarters to pints. Remember, in this page we are going to solve only from 1 to 6. The other exercises don't do it. Just from 1 to 6. And each time that I finish number 1, stop the video, copy the process, and answers in your books. And in number 2, the same process. So in number 1, we have to solve 6 quarters to pints. In 6 quarters, how many pints do we have? First, let's look for the chart. In the chart, where do we have quarters and pints? Here, right? 1 quart, 2 pints. Now, 6 quarters to pints. Are we changing from smaller to larger or from larger to smaller? Let's see in the picture. quarters are these ones, and pints are these ones. So we are changing from larger to smaller. That means that we have to multiply. Multiply times what? Look in the table, times 2, because 1/4 has 2 pints. So in that case, we have to multiply 6 times 2. Why times 2, guys, again? Because here in the formula, look in the chart, you have that 1/4 equals 2 pints. So 6 times 2, 12 pints, sorry. And if you follow the logic, 1/4, 2 pints. So in 6 quarters, 6 times 2, 12 pints. Let's solve exercise number 2, but first stop the video, copy the process, and the process is very simple. So in this case, just copy the process in the same book. But if you need more space, use your notebook, okay? So let's continue with number 2. Number 2 is the easiest one, and you're going to see why. 1/4 quart, how many ounces? So we have to find in here in the chart quarts and ounces. Where do you have quarts and ounces? Here, right? Look, 1 quart has 32 fluid ounces. So in there you don't have to do anything because you already have that. In 1 quart you have 32 ounces. So just copy 32 ounces. That one was easy. Let's do number 3. Number 3 says 55 ounces. How many pounds? And in here we have ounces again, but you are going to see why later. So we are going to change from ounces to pounds. Where do you have ounces and where do you have pounds also? Ounces and pounds together is not in the chart of capacity. Now we have to look in the chart of weight. Look, here we have it. 1 pound, 16 ounces. Look in the chart. 1 pound, 16 ounces. So in 55 ounces, how many pounds? What is bigger? The pound or the ounces? La libra o la onza? Una onza es algo así chiquitito y la libra de frijoles es más o menos como así. ¿Qué es más grande, la libra o la onza? La libra. So in here we are changing from ounces to pounds to libras. So we are changing from small to large, smaller to large. From smaller to large we have to divide. Look in here. We have to divide. So we have to divide by what? By 16 ounces because 1 pound has 16 ounces. So we are going to divide 55. In here, in this one, guys, you need the process in your notebook because you are not going to be able to do it in your books or find a space where to do it. Okay, 16 divided by 55. Guys, these divisions, you already saw it. You already know how to do it. So, how many times 16 fits in 55? Let's try with 3. 3 times 16. Do it apart. 3 times 16. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 1, 3 and 1, 48. 48. So this one becomes 4 and this one becomes 1. 15 minus 8, 7. 4 minus 4, 0. So look, guys, the 55 that I have in here are melones sandías or what? Ounces. Ounces. So if these ones are ounces, so number 7 in here are ounces also. These 3 that I have here are what? Is the one that I am looking for, are pounds. So let's answer. In 55 ounces, I have How many pounds? 3 pounds, this one of here, and I have a remainder. That means that 55 ounces are not 3 exact pounds of whatever. We are going to have a remainder of 7 ounces. That's why this one was in there. En 55 onzas no tenemos 3 libras exactas. Tenemos 3 libras más 7 onzas que nos sobran de esas 55. So that's why it was that in there. 3 pounds and 7 ounces. Okay? So stop the video, copy this process, and let's continue with number 4. Number 4 says that you have to change 5 gallons to quarts. How many quarts do you have in 5 gallons? So let's see first. Here in the table, where do we have quarts and gallons? Here, right? 1 gallon, 4 quarts. So we are going to use that. 1 gallon, 4 quarts. So the number that we are going to use is number 4. So what do we have to do? Divide or multiply? First, we have to see which one is bigger or larger, the gallons or the quarts. Here we have the gallons. Here we have the quarts. So the gallons are larger and the quarts are smaller. So from larger to smaller, we have to multiply times 4. And here you have it. So that means that you have to multiply 5 gallons times 4. 5 times 4, 20 quarts. In 5 gallons, you have 20 quarts. In 5 of these ones that you see in here, look, guys, you are going to have 20 of these ones, 20 quarts. Okay? It sounds logic, right? Because this one is smaller than the gallon. So let's continue with, stop the video and copy the process. Let's continue with number 5 and then number 6, and that is all. I need guys to pay attention, you to pay attention to this exercise number 5 because it's a little bit different and number 6 is the same. 5 and 6 are the same. So you have to do the same process, but pay attention to this. Here we have 3 quarters, 4 pints, and you have to change them to cups. But it's easier if we have or quarters or pints, but not both of them. So we have to change these quarters to pints or these pints to quarters. Which one can be better? And then we have to change them to cups because we cannot have the two of them. No podemos tener cuartos y pintas, cambiarlas a cups, a tazas. O tenemos cuartos o tenemos pintas. Entonces, una de ellas tenemos que cambiarlas primero. Cambiar esta a pintas o las pintas a cuartos y después eso cambiarlo a tazas. Entonces, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a buscar en la tabla una que nos hable tanto de... La primera que tenemos que tener fija es cups, porque es lo que estamos cambiando, a cups. We are changing to cups. So we have to have in here, we have to have in this chart of capacity one that tells me cups and quarters or cups and pints. Let's look for it. Cups or quarters and quarters or cups and pints. Which one do we have? Do we have quarters and cups? No, right? Quarters and pints? Cups and pints? Yes, cups and pints. Remember that it has to be one that has cups and pints or quarters. So we found one with cups and pints. That means that we have to change these 3 quarters into pints first. So 3 quarters to pints. Here we have quarters to pints. We are changing from larger to smaller. So we have to multiply times 2. Why times 2? Because in here says that 1/4 has 2 pints. So we are going to multiply 3 times 2. It's 6. So in other words, this one is the same. 3/4 is the same to have 6 pints. Okay? So now, guys, 6 pints plus 4 pints. How many in total do we have of pints? 6 and 4? 10 pints, right? Now it's easy to say changing 10 pints to cups. Vean lo que hicimos, chicos. Una de ellas dos, como les decía al principio, teníamos que cambiarla a la otra. O pints to quarts o quarts to pints. Y nos resulta más fácil cambiarla a pints porque después de pints yo puedo cambiar a cups. Entonces, aquí lo que hicimos fue investigar en 3/4 cuántos pints habían. Y me dicen que hay 6 porque en un cuarto tengo 2 pintas. Al multiplicar 3 por 2 me da 6. Entonces tengo estas 6 pintas más estas 4 pintas que yo tengo aquí. Me dan en total 10 pintas. Ahora es más fácil cambiar solo 10 pintas a cups, a tazas. So, if we are changing from pints to cups, here we have it, look. Pints to cups. We are changing from smaller to larger or from larger to smaller? From larger to smaller. Excellent. So we have to multiply. Times 2. Why times 2? Because in here says that 1 pint has 2 cups. So we are going to multiply 10 pints times 2. And 10 times 2 is 20. So in 10 pints we have 20 cups. Stop the video, copy the process, and then we can continue with number 6. Look, guys, number 6. Number 6 says that you have to change 2 gallons and 2 quarts to pints. We have the same situation in there. We have in here to have or gallons or quarts. Okay? To be able to change them to pints. So let's see in the chart which one is more convenient for you to have. You have to find pints and quarters or gallons. Let's find in the chart. Where do you have pints with quarters or pints with gallons? Do we have pints and quarters? Yes. Here you have quarters and pints. Look. Do you have pints and gallons? No, right? Look in the table, in the chart. We don't have pints and gallons. So that means here we have pints and quarts. So that means that it's convenient for you to change the 2 gallons into quarts. Entonces lo primero que vamos a hacer es investigar cuántos cuartos hay en 2 galones. Y así los sumamos a estos 2 cuartos que están aquí. Y ya vamos a poderlos cambiar a pints. So in 2 gallons, how many quarts do we have? Gallons to quarts. We are changing from large to small. So that means that we have to multiply times 4. Okay? So that means that you have to multiply 2 gallons times 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. 8 what? Quarts. So that means that in 2 gallons, you have 8 quarts. And 8 quarts plus the 2 quarts that you have already here, how many quarts in total do you have? 10 quarts. Now it's easy for you to change the 10 quarts to pints. Why? Because by here we have the quarts And by here we have the pints. We are changing from quarts and pints, from large to small. So that means that we have to multiply times 2 because 1 quart has 2 pints. So 10 times 2 equals 20. That means that in 10 quarts we have 20 pints, or in 2 gallons and 2 quarts we have 20 pints. Okay? And that was all for today. If you do not understand, please stop the video, play the video again, watch the video again, the part that you do not understand, for you to be able to understand, guys. So, what is what you have to do now? Okay, guys, look. In page 126, you have to work from 1 to 12, okay? Remember to send me the process also. If you have a space in, no, you are not going to have a space in there. So send me the process that need more, okay? More explanation. Send me the process in the notebook. And remember that you have to send me also page 125 from exercises 1 to 6, that were the one that I solved. If you saw I didn't solve all the exercises of the page, it's because you need only from 1 to 6. And in 126 from 1 to 12, that is your homework. So blessings.